actual political slogans. And it was not the worst. Much worse was the position of those who were not well educated at all in any branch of science, but who were educated and experienced only in one thing, in labeling their enemies. And they were much more dangerous for such a brilliant figure as was Vygotsky. As well, all of his followers, as well as for Leontiev, as well as for Davidov, who was dismissed from party and from institute, etc., etc. Beyond all doubts, Vygotsky belonged to the first tradition. This is Spinoza, not very known of his portraits. Sorry.
Just the Araki bag. Just the Araki bag.
Oh,
Just look at it. Just
Click on the 14, one
can you
bar.
put it back?
yes, I see. Oh,
Is that what you wanted? Where's the Araki backwards? Does the Araki go from
I think this is what he wants.
Did you want the previous slide?
not yet. Back one.
Yeah.
Here's the error.
Araki back. That's it.
Oh,
And
okay.
one more.
From the first day, Vygotsky opposed to those who understand the scientific research as something like this theme, this real thing from those years, the psychological peculiarities of hereditary Petersburg proletarian. Surely such topics has nothing to do with any real investigation. It was just ideological marks. Here is a little figure of one man. Here is the big figure of another.
Which is the bigger figure?
Who knows? Here we can see the relation between the scale. And this relation between this scale was obligatory in the totalitarian countries. Just like in culture of ancient Egypt, when the great figures of Egyptian gods had to press on little, simple, plain man or woman. And what I can to underline, frequently, especially in the West, I have to answer to the question, what was wrong in Vygotsky's ideas from point of view of officials, of Soviet officials? I think nothing. Vygotsky had a stylish conflict. He was a man of another style. It can't be just a little, he will lie before the authorities.
Move the cursor.
He is fighting people's happiness.
That's the interpretation,
Yes.
the translation. Yeah.
Yes. It's genuine Soviet placket as well. And here you can see the same scale.
Yeah.
Big leader and just small people. I have to excuse the other pictures are not inserted in the presentation, so I will show you from here. But what I want to underline about what I mean when I try to speak about Vygotsky's tragedy. Vygotsky's tragedy was in the same time just a moment, I have a dictionary for it here to consult in emergency cases.
You did very well.
Can't get up to it. Yeah. Batteries on.
Yes.
Gloria, could you to reduce this so that he can get to his dictionary?
That's different.
That's a
Oh,
different
different.
No,
computer.
I have electronic one here.
Sorry.
It's much. He was very lucky in his disciples, and his followers most of them can't follow him by the reason mentioned above. They hardly can share his basic theoretical approach, because it's awfully difficult to share Marxist approach under Soviet years, because it has only one association of totalitarian power. Only a few from Vygotskian followers can distinguish one from another. I named them. It was Leontiev, it was Davidov, and lately it was Ilyenkov. As for Ilyenkov, his life finished tragically. He suicided in 1979. And in his last letter to those who stay here, he said, "I feel that all my life was senseless. Nobody is interested in what I have done." He wasn't right. Ilyenkov left a couple of brilliant scholars who continued those which he started, but he had reasons for his tragical position. He suicided after 2 weeks after one of Davidov's seminar. He made a report on this seminar, and one of his ex-students made a replic, that all your ideas doesn't cost one word of Berdyaev. You know, Berdyaev was Russian philosopher of the beginning of the century, existentialist. And was just nothing, just another opinion, nothing special. But after these words, the auditorium starting to applaud. Ilyenko was literally ruined by these powers. He approached Davidov that we have lost our young generation for our culture, for all those which we do all our life. But this applause can be understood easily, because the name of Berdiaev was sounds like something dissident, something opposing to Soviet power, while all which was said before by Ilyenkov was understanding like something which pretends to be official, which was quite lie, false. Ilyenkov himself had a very tragical experience under the Soviet years, when his first book, The Dialectics of Abstract and Concrete, were cut, banned surely, but after the manuscript somehow reached to Italy, and Feltrinelli tried to print it, Ilyenko was taken to Lubyanka, to headquarters of KGB, and forced to remove his manuscript. And after this, as some kind of compromise, they published the abridged version, cut it 50%. And when now it's published fully, and now when somebody will place to these variants, it's hard to understand why this can be published but this can't be published. As for Vygotsky, Vygotsky was lucky to die in 34. It sounds awfully, but if he survived, the next year he had no chance not to be arrested, because just Vygotsky died from tuberculosis in 34, but in 35 the Central Committee of Communist Party issued a resolution accusing psychologists and first of all Vygotsky in so-called ideological, I don't know exactly these ideological labels, but as a result all books of Vygotsky were taken from libraries and burned. And only in mid-50s the name of Vygotsky can be pronounced openly. All the period between these two dates, all his disciples remain devoted to his leader. And one of the exciting proof of it, I'll try to show you. Can I get here? Yeah. Again. This is an amazing story with 2 photos. This is something fantastic. In late 40s, a group of Vygotsky's followers and disciples. Here you can see in the center Leontiev, Luria, Morozova, Elkonin, Bajovich, Levina. Have met on one flat and make a group photo. There's nothing special, just a photo. But this period of our history was marked with the starting campaign of official anti-Semitism initiated by Joseph Stalin. And taking in consideration that among them was a 50% or more, I don't know exactly, I never count, of Jews, Luria, I don't know, Levina, for example. Even this collective photo can be taken as a proof of collective plot, inspiring by Zionists. But it's not the most impressive, because only in 90s, only after Soviet Union ruined, collapsed, another photo emerged. Another reduction, I mean. This one. This one, even more mortal for all of them. Because now, in the middle, you can see the portrait of Vygotsky.
That was the 1990s.
40s.
Oh,
The
yeah, 'cause
photo-
it was only in the 1990s.
Yes, yes. This
that
photo
you could-
was published
Okay.
only in 90s.
Wow.
Even in 60s, which were rather liberal comparing with Stalin's era, they don't dare to publish this photo. This photo means that if one of them betrayed others, 2 or more of KGB colonels will take a reward as a